Why are you
Liam,
coughing?
we're on the 23rd episode.
Yeah, why are you coughing?
The 23rd episode, bro. Like literally, we're past our prime.
We're past our
Like
prime
I'm an
already.
old man. I'm an old man by now.
I will say the last episode was titled I Remember When and then grabs Kane. So I guess we are already past our prime.
This episode is gonna be like the medical treatment episode, bro.
The medical treatment episode. Well, hello and welcome back to the Through Barrel Podcast. This is the 23rd episode, and Liam is currently dying. I am here with my co-hosts Liam and Reese. Reese is trying to look cool right now for the people listening, if they are.
Yeah.
Wait, did you just... Dude, for a second I didn't... I couldn't tell what you were doing, and I saw you take a pair off, and then, the same pair was... I was like, what the fuck am I seeing? I could...
Oh, my bad.
Freaked me out, man.
If I can get it out, I just write it down.
Liam, the fuck you got? Bronchitis? What?
I got tuberculosis, low key, bro.
Really?
Yeah, dang, you guys don't know Red Dead.
No, wait. I know the... He's got limbago.
It's all good though.
It's all good, though.
We can get this started easy.
I love doing that.
Liam, do you actually have an idea of what you have? Do you just have a cold or something?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm just rocking with it, so it's all good.
Oh, okay. Well, make sure you drink a lot of water.
Water's for the weak. Water's for the weak-willed.
Dude, some people actually don't like drinking water.
I don't fucking understand that.
It doesn't taste like anything.
Bro,
Oh,
water
convenient.
tastes like the nectar of life after so long. If you work out and you haven't had water through that entire thing, or right after a nap, and you wake up, it could be the dirtiest, most bacteria-filled water bottle, and you drink it, and it's just I don't know. It's
It's
you
just
can't
a
get that from
mineral.
any other drink.
You run out to the swamp and grab a cup filled with water shortly
No.
after you woke up after a 4-hour nap, and you're just mouth dry as shit.
That's Halloween, bro.
Dude.
After you drink it, it just everything becomes clear, bro. You reach enlightenment after you drink that
I
water.
know.
The same cup of water after 4 hours, after that 4-hour nap, could be the piss of God. It will just get better somehow.
Dude, bro, that's great.
It's
Better than any drink you could have ever imagined.
Dude, the hardest part is waking up in the middle of the night and then being I am parched, and having to go to the fridge and get water, but still try to maintain that sleepiness. That way, when you do go back to bed, you can fall
Dude, you
asleep
have to
that.
Water next to your bed. Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night and you have to go to the bathroom or something, but you're I need to stay tired, so you just keep your eyes closed the whole time?
No, I keep all the lights off.
Yeah.
I've taken shits in the pure dark before because
Dude, I've done that too.
Dog, if I do
it's
that, the
kind of
boogeyman's
peaceful.
me, bro. I can't do that.
No.
The boogeyman
It's
ain't gonna get you while
really
you're shitting.
Yes, he will, little bro.
Dude,
that's
he'd
the
be
prime
grossed
time, bro.
out.
That's where your prime weakness. That's where your weakest point is.
Nah, dude.
Wait, what were you saying?
He said the boogeyman will get him if he's taking a shit in the dark. What makes you think the boogeyman's gonna want to go anywhere near you actively shitting?
It's
Yeah.
it's my my weakness. That's that's my weakest point of life, of all time.
I will say though, what are you gonna do if someone breaks into your house and you're taking a shit?
I guess put my pants back on.
You're in the most feral. Okay, what if a log is halfway out, or you're on the last push and you're struggling to get that piece out,
I'm gonna
and then
grab
all of a sudden window breaks, guys run in yelling. You're oh fuck. What do you do? What do you do? You are vulnerable.
You know what? I'm just gonna pick up the poop and throw it at the guy.
I'm just gonna call my mom.
Oh, someone's breaking our house.
Love your mom.
Love your
That's the
mom.
only option. 'Cause I'm not gonna slinging.
That's the
Leo.
only option you have. That's the only imaginable option that you could possibly
The only
think
option
of.
you have is to call your mom. Even if you live by yourself, you have to call your mom.
You gotta call your mom for
Just
anything,
to
dude.
keep her updated.
Dude, I'm gonna have to ask her what pant size I am. I have no fucking clue. I have no clue what my waist like 32, 20. I have no idea. I've never had to think about it.
I only know my waist size because I had to go out and get some uniform pants, and I had to like look at what my size was so I can like roughly like estimate like what I need.
Just kind of looking in the mirror, like, am I 32, 30? What am I?
No, bro. The
Dude, the
ones
thing
I
about
had that were too
waist,
small for me, they were like 32 husky, so I was like, okay, so I'll probably need a 33, and I didn't need a 33, so I guessed right. Oh, Will, didn't you have a topic to say today?
yeah,
Oh,
I was
y'all
gonna
are already
segue into
done
that
with
with
short
like the
talk?
waist thing.
We're like 6 minutes in. I was like,
Short talk for a reason, little bro.
I have some stuff I'd like to include in short talk. I don't.
Okay, then just sit it out. This will be like the main talk, but like it's like still included in short talk.
Okay, I guess. Hold on. I gotta. I didn't prepare much on this. Now that I'm realizing it. Okay. So, so I was scrolling through TikTok today, and I've actually seen this group before. Have you heard of the group like group therapy, and then it's like a period at the end of it? It's all lowercase. Have you heard of them?
I've never heard of them.
So they've popped up on my For You page before, and I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but my For You page is really good about giving me underground artists or like people that just haven't had like a moment. Literally people with like 200 views on every video, and they make like really good music. So I ended up scrolling through TikTok, obviously, and a artist group showed up, group therapy. They're a band, and one of the singers is, I don't know if you guys remember this. Do you remember Lab Rats?
Yeah.
I remember
Yo,
I watched like 2 episodes.
Mighty Man and Lab Rats on top.
Well, the guy that played Leo, they Tyrell Jackson Williams, they're I'm trying to balance pronouns. I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore, guys. I'm struggling. But whatever. He and his siblings, it's like that's their group. It's him and two of his siblings and their group therapy. And I actually checked out their music. It's not bad. It's like actually not bad. Like they could sing. And the one that I found, it was like their new album that just came out. It's like I was mature for my age, but I was still a child. The only song, I mean, like they got a lot of interesting music on it. It's definitely indie pop in the sense of like it doesn't match a genre that I could really like stick it to. Except for that, the only song I like it is trunkpoppers.com. And it's a good song. It's a good. It's an odd title, but it's a great song. Like I actually really liked it.
For us real quick.
How does it? I don't know how it goes.
Might
What
be
he gave us the
copyright.
instruments in the acapella.
Oh, I gotta get the little flute thing, like getting key. But yeah, no, literally just in my notes, it's like their name and then the name of the album, and then like this, I literally put dash good dash and then trunk pop, just the name, and then I put So are there other like actors that have gone to like musicians that like we know of?
I think the diary. I think I just saw a TikTok of like the Diary of the Wimpy Kid, like the little kid.
Manny?
Yeah, I think he knows music. Yeah. No, I mean like
Manny,
the main character. Guy's name.
Greg?
Greg?
Yeah.
Like, what music is Greg
What?
making? Like,
Wait, wasn't he in Oppenheimer?
No. That's Roderick.
yeah, Roderick was in Oppenheimer.
Oh, he was?
About, like,
I was like,
Yeah,
what
he
the
was. He was.
Like the main character of Diary of the Wimpy Kid.
Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I
one
know.
though? Like, didn't they make like
Oh,
3 different versions of Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Why are you looking at me like that, dude? Like, I'm being for real. Didn't they like?
getting notifications.
Oh, I was about to say like, didn't they reboot that like 3 separate times? I was like, what do you mean? Like, why am I the idiot in asking that question? But
I don't think they had like. I mean, I know they had reboots, but like the actually good one. Like the one where like Roderick was actually Roderick and not like some like
I know.
12-year-old
Dude,
boy
literally-
that had like super straight hair.
What reason?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh.
Is it the one
Buddy
with
is
like
not
it was like
on
the super
on
greasy hair?
Yeah, like his normal hair.
Are we talking about the
Yeah, like,
one?
like-
Didn't they actually have like Peyton List? Was she was in them, right?
Wait, who was that?
Peyton List. Did you ever watch Jesse?
A little bit.
Hey, Jesse.
The old like the oldest sibling.
Oh,
Peyton,
Yeah, I
the
know
blonde
her.
one. Yeah, she was in one of those movies. I remember. I don't like. I think the only movie of those that I did watch was the one with the cheese touch. I didn't read the books. The only books that I did read were like Harry Potter.
dude, you
The
didn't
only
read
books
any
I
of
read-
those Diary of a Wimpy Kid ones?
No, I never really found the interest in it. I just
I never read any of the Diary of the Wimpy Kids though. But like Spy School, oh my gosh, Spy School was actually elite.
I didn't read that too. I didn't read a lot. Wait, what is he
Buddy,
doing?
you needed to read that like immediately.
What is he pulling out? Oh, he's pulling out all his books. Oh shit. Dude,
Spy School was literally one of the only books like in middle school that I could like. That I was like, dang, I really want to read like the next book or whatever.
what the fuck? What the
But nah,
fuck?
Buddy is
Reese?
actually the
You didn't read these?
Buddy is the whippiest kid, bro. I swear.
You didn't read any of these?
Dude, what the fuck? How many are there?
I don't know. There's like,
Holy crap, bro!
oh, this
Who's the
one was
writer?
really cool. It was like a do your own. It was like a
Bro,
journal. Your own
He
journal
needs
thing.
to write another story, bro.
I forgot what's that. 13. There's more that came out that I don't have. But I used to read these like all the time when I was a youngin.
Dude, you need to buy them. You need to get the new books. You need to read them.
Yeah, bro, you need to catch up.
You gotta keep up on the Diary of a Wimpy Kid lore. The lore. The lore to it.
What if one day Jigsaw kidnaps you and then he tells you to like read at like recite the entire lore of Diary of the Wimpy Kid? You think you're up for the task?
You know they're making another Diary. No, what? No, they're making another Jigsaw movie.
They are.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
like
like they're doing a lot, though.
it's like the 10th one. Like I finally understood the story to Jigsaw,
Wait,
Like,
this is a story?
or like the character, or like the meaning to the character. I finally understood the meaning to it.
Well, I think only like the first like 2 movies or so or 3 that like Jigsaw is like actually Jigsaw and not some like random other person that like
Yeah, I was
is
like-
or anything.
Wasn't there one where he was just like an actual guy that they like killed or something?
No, that's what they're trying to say in the. I hope it's the last one. They need to stop remaking all these.
It's like how we hope there's like a
movies.
last Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Dude, I
There's a
know.
last
No,
Halloween.
this is what's pissing me off. I remember exclusively they came out with a Halloween movie, and then it ends with Michael Myers getting trapped in a burning house. Okay, it ends
Oh, yeah.
with that. The house collapses, it's on fire, and the people get away. Okay, about a year later, it is like I want to say summer. I'm laying
Like
in my bed.
chronologically?
Yeah,
Or like in real life?
in it like the movie. Wait,
Oh.
what? Yeah, and
I
so
thought you meant like in real life with the movies releasing like a summer later, like
no, yeah, literally like a year later, like a
Oh.
year later after that movie came out, I'm sitting in my room at my dad's house and I'm watching YouTube, and an ad pulls up, and it's the burning house, and then you see the people driving away, and there are ambulances going towards the house, and the people are like, no, don't go. Firefighters go into the house. Michael Myers kills all of them and leaves the house. It's another Halloween movie, dude.
Oh,
And it's supposed to be
I
the
saw
last.
that.
And then it's like, this is supposed to be the last one. It's like, what do you mean it's supposed to be? Like, how many of them are you gonna make? I'm like, isn't he dead? Like,
I guess as long as it keeps making money, they're gonna find a way to keep producing it.
like, oh my god. I was like, how many of these are they making? This is like the 12th one or something. It's something crazy like that.
They literally like they weren't even like constantly making movies. They like made it like 1 year, and then there's like, holy crap, people actually want to watch this, and they just kept making it. Cause like the only like Halloween movie that come out was like that one in like 1990s or so. I don't know, but like the old, like the actually old one, and then like
Yeah.
they made the. I don't know if it's like a reboot or a sequel or something, but
All right.
then they just started going on that.
Okay, hold on. This is obviously. Oh, here it is. Okay. The total Halloween movies. Okay, I don't know if I have this, but the last one to come out was Halloween Ends, and that's 2022. Like 2022. Let me see.
Wait, really? I remember I saw Halloween Kills or something like that.
Let me.
Is
let
that
me,
another one?
Let me see. Okay. What the fuck? So Halloween is an American slasher media franchise that consists of 13 films.
Damn, when I swear there's only like 4, bro.
So I think this is saying, oh wow. A trio of revamped sequels that kicked off in 2018, re-envisioning Laurie's adult life, but still showing her haunted and stalked by the Michael Myers. How many have been? There have been like 7 different actors who have played Michael Myers, just because this shit's been going on for like, I want to say the earliest one to come out was in the 70s. This has been going on for like 50 or 60 years.
Yeah, like it's like a huge franchise.
So, what? Did Jason show up in one of them? Like, I
know,
think there was.
no,
I think there was a
I
Michael
know there was
Myers
like
versus
versus
Jason.
movie,
Exactly. Yeah.
like Jason versus Michael Myers, or Jason versus like Freddy Krueger or something.
Yeah. How are they gonna fight Freddy Krueger? How?
I don't even think the villains like even sleep, little bro. So
Yeah, I was
like,
about to say
hold
like,
on.
how are they gonna sleep? So okay, I pulled up a timeline. Let me see. Okay.
Dog, there's
So
so many Jason
Halloween.
Voorhees movies, bro. Friday the 13th movies like actually like go so deep. They're like at least has to be like 20 plus.
I
So
know.
Halloween, the first one came out 1978, and then
Dang.
Halloween 2 was 1981. Wait, it just completely skipped the third Halloween movie. Now Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, was 88. And then Halloween 5, Revenge of Michael Myers, 89. Dude, they're just pumping these things out like it's nothing. Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, 1995. Halloween H20, 20 years later, 1998. Halloween Resurrection, 2002. Then Halloween, 2018. Okay, so I guess when it's talking about the total, and then Halloween Kills was 2021, and then Halloween
Yeah.
Ends was 2022.
Okay. I
And
didn't see
then-
Halloween Ends. I saw Halloween Kills though.
So I think what they're trying to talk about is there are movies that share the title like Halloween. Because, okay, that means that there's only like 6 or 7 movies with Michael Myers as the main.
Dude, he dies at the end of like every single one.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, dude. The amount of times, because I remember like the end of movies would be like he would get shot in like the chest, fall out of the window, and then he would land on the ground like dead, and then the camera
Dude.
pans away, and then when it pans back, he's fucking gone. And it's like, how does he
I know.
live? How does he live? I've
Dude,
never
the
understood.
Halloween
There's
Kills
people
one,
just study that
there
as like
was like a
immortal.
30-minute sequence of them just fighting in this kitchen, and he gets like at one, I forgot what happened. Like I think he gets like cut in half across a kitchen counter, like from like here down.
He
that,
still
bro.
walks. Like,
They made a sequel to that.
He
They
tanks
made
it. Come
another
on.
movie after that.
I think.
Wait, I think somewhere in it was like, I don't know, like Michael Myers like look he just like an evil spirit and like possess somebody else or something like that.
Maybe.
Buddy, but it's like the mask, bro. Like somebody always ends up with the mask and then like becomes like Michael Myers at some point, or maybe Buddy just like substitute jutsu like somebody else for like look like he died or something like that, or he's
Yep.
just borderline immortal.
I always thought that the Michael Myers thing is that he needs to kill in order to stay alive. Like, in the sense of, like, when he would kill someone, it makes him younger. Because there's no way this man's, like, going 50 years and, like, getting shot in the chest and walking away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, yeah, that's crazy. I just searched up Friday the 13th, and there are 12 Friday the 13th films. 12 of them. And the first one started in 1980. Oh my god. I remember though, like I remember watching a thing about the Halloween movies, and it was something about like the budget for the first one was so low that they couldn't even like they could barely afford the mask for Michael Myers. Like they didn't even know what the mask was gonna be. They just went to a Halloween store, found it, like just some random ass mask, and went, "Here you go." And it's an icon. It's an icon now. It's like it was like it was one of those things where the budget was literally dirt, and it just blew up. It's the same thing that happened with the Terminator. The Terminator was the exact same way. The budget was like it like the company that gave them the budget for the movie was like, this isn't going to be anything, and the guys cooked, and now it's an icon. You know, it's
Dude,
those are
I
like
didn't watch the Terminator.
what?
I didn't watch the Terminator.
I didn't either. I didn't like. I haven't watched. I know there's like 5 or 6 of them. I think. I don't know. I think there is.
Oh, guys, don't we have some topics to talk about?
Yes. Okay. So,
That wasn't the topic.
well, that started off as the topic. That started off as the topic with the musicians being. We somehow got from actors being musicians to movies like Halloween and Friday the 13th. I don't know how, but yeah. So recently, this has some backstory to it. Recently, I started watching a show called The Midnight Gospel because I've seen clips of it on TikTok, whatever, and then the original creator, I've seen clips of him on Joe Rogan's podcast, and there's some stuff that he says that like I legitimately am like, this is some very fascinating shit to think about and understand as a person. And so I did some more digging on the Midnight Gospel, and it's pretty much just, if people don't know what it is, it's a Netflix show. It's like 8 episodes, 20 episodes each, and then you follow this guy. I honestly forget his name. I just binged through it. What?
It's 8 episodes, 20 episodes each.
I mean, it's 8 episodes, 20 minutes each, or something like that. It's all animated. It's like it looks as if you're watching it on psychedelics. Like the animation and the art style is just so colorful and so like vibrant that it like everything. It just, if you were to watch it, you'll understand what I mean. But basically, it's about this guy who's like a podcaster. It's a guy who does like a podcast or like a radio talk show, whatever, and he has this like universe, like a simulator thing, to where he sticks his head in it, and then he picks which Earth he wants to go to, and then he sticks his head in it, and then it's like this rocket or something shoots him across universes to land on this Earth, and he finds someone to like interview, and he asks them like very life existential, like these very philosophical and thought-provoking questions. Like the first one was about drug use and like kind of like the thoughts behind it, and like I guess the main kind of statement that came from that episode is that drugs, like there are no good drugs and bad drugs, there's only the circumstance, which like that kind of makes sense in a way. Like if you think about it, like think about like ibuprofen.
Cool.
You know, like think about ibuprofen. The mean of it is that it's a pain blocker, and it, or like a painkiller, and so it's like, yeah, you take like 2 or 3 to get rid of a headache, but then it's like some people get addicted and they'll start taking like 4 or 5 at a time, or even 6, just to feel something. And then that's when it comes to the good drug, bad drug. No, it's the circumstance. So that makes sense. I honestly forget. I think the second one was about love. I'm trying to remember what the third one was about. I'm going to need to go back and watch it, but I'm only 3 episodes in. I'm trying to watch an episode a night, but it's all very interesting. I recommend both of you to watch it. But yeah, one of the things which like before we started recording, I told him this is going to be a very thought-provocative episode in the sense of what I'm going to ask. But this one, I want to talk about love in the sense of like, what is the truest form of love to you guys? In the like, just from person to person or as a community, what in your guys' opinion is like the truest form, the purest form of love that you could give someone, or just the action itself? Because I got my answer.
You want to go first, or do you want me to go first, Reese? No. Okay.
Sacrificial love.
Sacrificial. Can you elaborate?
Um, anything that involves you doing an outward action that doesn't involve anything that comes inward.
Do you mean do you mean like physical? Like a physical like it doesn't
Could be. It could also be emotional, like social, mental. It's just like doing anything for somebody when you're not gonna get anything in return. So like goes from small stuff to like really big things.
Mhm.
So it could be like holding a door to like giving a kidney.
Okay. Yeah, no. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's valid. That's valid. Liam, what about you?
So for me, it's like somewhere on like the line of the same thing. It's like love at some point is like a commitment, and it's not something you like really like. There's like unrequited love, which is like isn't really, you can't see like it's a good thing, but like it's a form of love. Like it's all forms of love. Like love is like giving without like expecting much in return. I mean, you can expect a certain level to be like returned, but it shouldn't be on the basis of of giving and taking, because then that's like trading. That's like trading, not like
Yeah.
an actual like act of
Kind of like
devotion, I guess. Yeah.
going off what you said. I guess they can like go hand in hand. I mean, I guess an example would be like if you I don't know, if you really like sleeping around with people, that's just kind of like your lifestyle, but then you meet like one person and then you just stop like you start being loyal and you stop sleeping around with people, then like you're sacrificing what you wanted before to become like a better person for that person. So like they kind of go hand in hand because you're like giving up what you want, like what you wanted to like be better for a person or like have a person be better than you. Just like doing stuff for other people that doesn't directly benefit you, but in the long run, it like I don't do you, like. Does it kind of make sense what I'm saying?
No, yeah, no, no,
'Cause,
no.
like,
Yeah.
I think
I
we're
agree
all
with
thinking the
Leo.
same thing. I think we're all thinking the same thing
Yeah,
because my answer, which like honestly, I feel like everyone at this age is having that kind of trouble with like the idea of love in the sense of like we're at a day and age to where literally everything is at our fingertips, and that means that we could go onto the internet, we can find people that look attractive but we don't know them, and then it's some weird parasocial relationship, or like just people in general, to where sometimes I feel as though people have become disconnected from the idea of passion in the sense of like, yeah, just being nice to each other. And it's and I just feel as though the environment that we've created when it comes to social media has just kind of fed into that idea of disconnecting ourselves from that emotion, like that the chemical whatever, just because we're so used to now give it to me now, where it's like we gotta work for it sometimes. And so this kind of like I have thought about this before quite a bit because of our dear friend Chris. He was on like the third episode, I want to say.
yeah,
Every now and then he'll text me or I'll text him, and we'll get into some really deep like conversations, and I ended up having to like do some soul searching to help answer a question and give advice to him. And I'm not gonna say what he asked or like what's going on with him, obviously, because that's his personal stuff. But it resulted in me saying that, to me, the truest form of love is it's how do I say this? The truest form of love is doing or the personal desire to want what's best for the other person despite how it makes you feel. And it all comes back to that idea of sacrifice that we've all come to that we've all like kind of come to talk about. It's like whether that's girlfriend, boyfriend, brother, sister, mom, dad, and it's like they need to go somewhere in order to make themselves a better person, or like put themselves on a successful path. And it's that whole if you do love them, let them go, because it's what's best for them, and you should want what's best for them despite how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
I just, I don't know. I feel like at this day and age, people just don't have that anymore. It's always just, it's what I want, it's what I want, is the affection that I want. It's, I don't, they don't have the other person in mind. They don't.
I mean, that's kind of like how we see marriage as like the highest form of love on like a title scale.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're married to someone, that we see it as just like more genuine than like dating. It's just like when you marry someone, that's like the sacrifice. Like that's why we see it as such a high form, is because you're giving up like your whole life for someone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just I know that like divorce rates are kind of going through the roof now too. And back to what you were saying, Will, with
Mm-hmm.
the whole how we're kind of lacking. I don't think it's that um people don't want to be like connected with someone like that. I think it's that now instead of just like connection and taking care of the other person, it's just like thinking about what you can get out of it for yourself. Which is why a lot of stuff doesn't work, because it's kind of like we're as humans we're always changing, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we're always going to be wanting something different for ourselves. So that's why a lot of relationships don't last nowadays, because like people will start dating or something and then they'll just like change, and then they'll leave the other person because they want something different. But like a lot of people are forgetting that the whole reason that you should be like dating someone is so you can like stay with them no matter like what happens. Is like you're supposed to learn to develop with the person and not just like do stuff for yourself. That's like a big issue. It's because like I don't know why, like I don't know what happened, but we're just a lot more selfish now as a whole. Like what do y'all think would even be the cause of that? Because
It's
I
probably
know
just
that
like, you know, like
relationships are what.
I was thinking like it's because like we don't live in like a very like rough society anymore. So like we don't have the like our to like ties with each other aren't like as like strong. Like we can easily cut off like other people like
Oh, that's
without
true.
like needing anything from them like at all. And like because like you can ghost people so easily. Like if they do something, like you're probably never gonna see them like ever again in your life if you like don't talk to them.
You see, I was scrolling through TikTok, and a podcast came up. I feel awful. I don't remember the name or the people in it, but it did. But what they were talking about, it was kind of close to this topic. What they were talking about was it was like, why is it that it is so difficult in this day and age to date someone, like genuinely date someone, not even marry,
Yeah.
like genuinely find someone that you're interested in and you're just going to spend time with. And like, even though we got all these dating apps, all these ways for people to become like, to talk to each other, connect to each other. And I heard I heard on it that one of the reasons is because we have so many options. It's that we have somebody to where someone will go on a date, it'll go really well, it'll be really nice, but then they immediately go home and go back onto the dating app because they're like, something like, there's someone that's better. Like there has to be someone that's better. There's just so many options, and it's almost like gambling in a sense, where it's like you can either take it or you could go back on the app and try to find something better. But most of the time you either don't, and you lose the person that you had a fun time with. And so it's like, it's just we have so many opportunities that we don't ground ourselves to like two or three. We ground ourselves to like, not even ground ourselves, we loosely tie ourselves to 50. It's that kind of mentality of like Liam said, we're not rough, everything's kind of loose when it used to be like this. And it's just like,
I think it's also kind of back to what Liam was talking about. Um, with the whole like easier to like more options and stuff,
mm-hmm.
and like it's easier to cut people off or whatever. But I think it also goes kind of hand in hand with how we're so like overly stimulated with all this dopamine all the time, with like all the stuff that we have just in the past 10 years. There's so many news sources of just like cheap dopamine that we get from stuff like literally just like checking your phone screen for like a notification. Like that gives you dopamine. And so like to an even like deeper extent is like with relationships, there's so much more now with just online communication that it's so much easier to just feel like, all right, I need more. Like I need to talk to more. Like I need to like see what else there is. Like I might be in a relationship, but like what else is there? There's so many more options. And like a lot of people are able to like break themselves free of that like really bad cycle that we've gotten ourselves into as a whole society. But it's really hard because like even then we have kids. We are always gonna have kids who are growing up learning the things that we've started. So like even though some people might be able to, like there's also more like even younger generations. Like you can like I kind of be able to say see too. Like looking at people younger than me since I'm like I'm not like old now, but I'm at the point where there's like I can see people like going through stages that I went through, right? So like have like you guys kind of know what I'm talking about, where you kind of see people like going through different stuff than you did because they're like the same age that you once were, but like with relationships and stuff, you're like, there's just no way that like kids that young are like doing this with dating. Like there's kids in like middle school like sleeping around with people and like cheating on people. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like that's not right at all. Like you need to just like stop. I don't know, dude. Like it's so hard seeing like people doing like such wrong stuff at a young age because like certain parts of society just like act like it's normal.
You know,
It's
I
like do you see what I'm
no.
like
It's
what I see?
interesting.
Like it's really bad.
It's interesting that you bring that up because I really do like this discussion. But I hate to be that person, but it's like I feel like a lot of the times when you have our generation that's like, oh, we're so depressed. It's because of these. Like it is because of these,
Yeah,
and it's like, don't get me wrong, I like I'm on my phone too much. Like I can admit I'm on my phone so much, and yeah, it's because we have access to the entire world on our fingertips. We like it's just constant dopamine feed, and so it's like as soon as we're off our phones, we're literally addicted to the dopamine to where it's like, oh, I don't have my phone, I'm bored, I have nothing to do, oh no, I'm sad because I don't have that constant. It's one of those things where like when you were talking about with the middle schoolers and everything, I do feel a lot of that stuff where it's like middle schoolers doing very mature things for their age does
yeah,
come down to the whole idea of social media and having everything be so like clicky or like a trend to where it's like it's not even like a trend, it's just wrong. And then you got kids who have access to these like feeds and social medias that believe that this is what's going to make me cool and accepted in society, and then it's like they do it but they're kind of feeding into the problem in a way. And if we were to talk to kids that are that age, they're not going to understand it the way that we do. They're not going to see our viewpoints as to why it's bad or as to why it's like doing the things that it's doing or making them feel the way that they feel, because they haven't gone through like it's like the canon event. They haven't gone through the canon event. They have not. Like
yeah,
they're not going to understand. They're not going to realize, and that's why I genuinely think that like being on your phones and being on stuff that's like that to you can genuinely make you depressed. And
yeah,
that's why it's like I don't want to sound like that guy, and we all know which guy I'm talking about. Get off your phone and work the fuck out. you
yeah.
know? Put it
It's
down.
so
Put it in
bad.
a safe for like 20 minutes. Read a fucking book. And it's like I could be a hypocrite when I talk about this too. I am a hypocrite because I fucking don't read for shit. I want to, but I don't. And it's because of this thing. It's because why would I sit down and look at words when I can go on an app to where I just scroll up and something funny that has some broken shit ass humor pops up and it gives me like 5 seconds of dopamine and I'm like, okay, I want that again. And I keep scrolling.
Yeah, I know. There's like the issue is that it's not even like before. I don't know. The thing before phones is like, I don't know, television maybe, or like just computers in general.
Mm-hmm.
And then like before television was, I don't know, like comics or something. But we've been like slowly building up like a society that's just like feeds off of just moving on to the next thing like really fast. Because like you can really tell, um, like first it was, well, first it's like it goes really far back, but like now it's at the point with like phones, and like I don't even know what's gonna come in the future, but it's gonna like just keep getting worse. But it's like we just don't. I don't really know what we would do as a society though, because like the issue is that it's not like you have to pay to have a phone, but once you have the phone, it's not like you're paying to do stuff. So like everything is right there, like you said. Like you can just press a button and then
Mm-hmm.
you have it there. And that's why like kids like super young, like high school, like there's kids who were like 9 or 10 who have phones. Like I've seen kids at such a young age with phones, and it's
Mm-hmm.
so bad. That's
Mm-hmm.
why kids are like getting exposed to this really bad like environment of adulthood with like mature themes and like all this adult stuff that kids don't need to worry about. And at such a young age, that's why it's like such a bad point in a lot of kids' lives. And that's why a lot of kids are depressed because they're in like their main development stage of their brain. So their brain's like making all these pathways and wires, and they're like incorporating this cheap dopamine source and like these electronics into their brain. So like now that they're exposed to all this cheap material for no cost, they're just like building their lives around it. And like I've noticed that's kind of happened in my life too, but like it's getting worse with a lot of people. And like it's so hard to like break yourself apart from it when you've built yourself around it. That's why like I also feel like it's a really bad idea to just like if you have like a baby or toddler and you just like put them in front of a TV and have them like watch not just like shows because like you can have them watch like educational stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but putting them in front of like YouTube and stuff, and it's like the same exact thing that we have with like scrolling on social media. It's just like just sitting there, just trying to get everything you can out of just watching the screen. But you don't know any better because at that point you're just like you just want more, and you don't even know why. And it's even worse when it's younger kids. Like again, back to like toddlers, just like sitting and watching like Coconut and stuff like that. Because like they don't know any better. Like they're just building this as their life, and so they're just getting trained on this cycle of just like, okay, I need to watch something else. I need to watch something else. And you can see it happening with like younger kids, and like we can't even do anything about that because it's just like a general society thing as a whole. Like maybe it's
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's like a thing. I don't know what we can do about it, but it's like such an issue because like it's just becoming younger and younger that kids are exposed to like the entire internet. And like yeah, you can like do internet restrictions or whatever because they're like people are doing that, but at the end of the day, there's still like always going to be just like the
Some
the
way for
cheap
them,
dopamine
like,
sources. They're gonna come out of somewhere.
yeah.
There's always gonna be something, and it's getting worse. Like there's more and more. Like it's so sad when I like kids in like middle school and like elementary school will be like they have like vapes and stuff, and I'm like, dude, that this is like insane. Like, why are we unable to stop this? Like, we need to be able to do something. But I think this is like such a like it's such a new thing, like a modern thing. Like not just like baby, I'm talking about like in general,
Mm-hmm.
like doing like bad stuff at a young age. Like, there's nothing we can do because there's such modern things that kids are having issues with that we're like we've never had to deal with this as a society before. Like, what are we supposed to do?
And it's happening so fast that we don't have time to react. So it's
Yeah,
like, so a lot of the times when we do recognize that it's a problem, it's already way worse than we thought it would be. And so
yeah,
and like, again, to me, we're like, comes to like the whole vaping thing, that circles back to what I said earlier, to where it's like a trend. And then it's like the kids, all kids want to be are accepted. That's like, if you look at the root, that's why kids do what they want to do. That's why kids replicate their parents, because they want to be accepted. And like, and so when kids see on social media their favorite TikToker fucking, I don't know, like doing weed, smoking a vape, it all comes back to them being like, I want to be like them. That's what it takes to be cool. I'm gonna try to find that and do that. And it's like, I feel like when it comes to kids tend to they tend to listen more to people that are like kind of their age, people that aren't the age of their parents, because it's always this natural tendency to resist and rebel. And it's like, I understand that, but every now and then I feel like kids just don't, it's either the parents don't like they don't go as hard with the restrictions or anything. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I hate restrictions, but every now and then there are some good restrictions. There are some good things to it. Like, there are rules. It's like when there are rules, they're put there for a reason. Someone was dumb enough to do it in the first place, you know? Like eating a fucking Tide Pod. It's shocking that they have to put do not consume, you know? Like,
I
it's
know.
oh man, it's just, yeah. I feel like on one end it is the parents that are letting their children have access to these things, and second, it is that the kids have the kids have the natural tendency to copy their friends to be accepted. And so when they see someone they like on TikTok smoking, they want to smoke, or they want to vape, just because that's
true.
what they're doing. And it's
But
yeah.
I mean, like, the thing is, though, although a lot of parents like do have control,
Mm-hmm.
like even the parents can't even help it, because there's like really subtle things and like really small themes that are hinted at and like pushed in through the media, like from all different sources into the younger generations, that like neither the kids nor the adults are able to recognize.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's just like these really small themes that like again go back into like the kids developing brains, and like nobody realizes it, but then like the kids slowly develop into like thinking like that, and no one can do anything about it because it's just like a societal thing, like with advertisements and like stuff like that. Like even if you just, I don't know, like what's a good example? Like um uh I don't know.
You know,
What, like, do you know what I'm talking about though?
yeah, no. That does remind me though of something that I did see earlier today. It's a part of stupid YouTube drama, but I'm not gonna go into the drama. I'm gonna go into a statement. Basically, Jacksepticeye was on a thing where he was getting like he was hooked up to a lie detector, and someone asked him what's his least favorite YouTuber, and then he goes, "Well, we have a lot of pedophiles and groomers on our platform," and it's like, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, we do. And I'd like to call ourselves like YouTubers, I guess. I'd like to call ourselves that. We make content because we
Well, I
want
mean,
to
we are
have
because
fun. You
we put
know,
out content.
we put out content. I guess we could say that we are. And yes, we do have a lot of pedophiles and groomers on the platform, but it's so hard to detect. It's hard to see, to where it's like anyone that is like, let's say, over 18 years old on the platform, and they have like a ton of attention from like majorly the minor community. Could they
Yeah.
be a groomer even though they don't have ill intent? It's just so hard to detect that it's like there's literally no way. It's either don't let your children on YouTube in general, or watch what they watch first. It's just, I don't know. YouTube
I
is such a
know.
wild west to that as well, to where that's a problem that I can't even comprehend how to think to fix, because
I
it's just
know, because
undetectable.
like again, kind of bouncing off of what you were talking about,
Mm-hmm.
with like the really bad, like exposure to adult and like sexual content
Mm-hmm.
as like minors. Um, like again, also kind of back to like them not knowing any better and kind of just like developing their brains around what they're given.
Yeah.
It's like really like even if you just look at like advertisements and stuff, like just stuff that's put out in the general media, like clothing is getting like a lot smaller, and there's like really like kind of going off like I'm just gonna kind of go down the same road you did with like the sexual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just like really subtle like sexual themes hinted at, like smaller clothing, like even in music, like a lot of the music that's put on the radio like has like sexual themes in it, and like we don't even have control over that. Like we don't have control of what, like to some degree, yeah, but like ultimately we have no like we're just like a small cog in the system,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't have ultimate control over like all this stuff that's very like subtly like well hidden in all the stuff that we like digest daily. And like it's so hard for us to like maneuver, like not even only ourselves, but like again the kids like younger than us, like around this stuff because it's so subtle that you don't even know like when it's happening yourself. Like that's ultimately your goal is like to be able to like be stronger and better so we can provide for like the people who come after us. Like just like our parents are for us, it's like that's basically like what our thing is. Like we build a better society, like for the people after us, and then they do the same thing. But like we're at a point now where we don't like nobody knows what to do anymore. Like
It's so out of
because there's
hand.
just so much small stuff that we don't even know what's going on, and it's just like we can't do anything, and it's so bad too. Like it's so criminal, but like what do we do? Like I have no idea what I would like. What do you think, Liam? Because you probably have some stuff to add.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking like, with like the clothes like getting smaller and smaller, it's like,
Yeah.
you know how like people like sexualize like women a lot, right? And like,
Yeah.
it's like sometimes it's like really mostly it's the women sexualizing themselves because like, there's like a lot of women that like kind of egg on other women that it's like yes slay or whatever. Like you'll see like a really like skimpy-ish outfit, and then they kind of like other people see that validation and they're like, oh, I want that validation too. So if I do the same thing, like I'll probably also get this same reaction. So like I think it's like also like a mob mentality. So where people are like, oh, I see this happening, so I kind of want this to happen to me too. So I'm gonna do this, and then that person sees that person, and then like so on and so on, and it's like you can't really stop it because there's that public validation is already out there, and you can't you can delete it, but somebody's already gonna do it like after you delete it, so they're gonna see that and they're gonna see that, and it's like you can't stop it. It's the internet. It's like it's gonna be there like 24/7. Like it doesn't matter if you delete it anyways.
It's the acceptance. It all comes back to acceptance. Everything that anyone wants is to be accepted, and that means that they will do whatever it takes to be accepted. That's what it is. It only really is like the certain people that I would say like us that really do see what's happening. And it's like I guess it took us like 17 years to see what's happening, which it sucks that we see it at that time, but it's like I feel as though if people that are like in the position to spread awareness about that, to like especially if they do have audiences that are like majorly minors, then it's like even the companies that they work for will then shut them down because that's not showing their agenda in a way. And it's like I'm not trying to get political because usually the idea or like the word agenda gets to that immediate agenda political basis. It's like it goes for every company. Every company has an agenda. So like obviously YouTube, they want views, they want all that. They keep saying they don't want kids to see their videos, or like that's why they implemented the yes this is for kids or no this isn't for kids. And like I guess they are giving YouTubers like repercussions if it's an inappropriate video and it says it's made for children, but it's like they can't stop that. And then you got other companies like let's say like I don't know, fucking Target, Instagram, like all these companies where they are technically targeting the youth. That is kind of what it is because they're the easy target. It's not in any political stance at all. It's the whole acceptance. If they say that this is what the kids are doing, then the kids are going to want to copy that. No one can even, like it could literally be no one's doing that shit. It's the dumbest thing ever. And then they hear, oh, well, some kids are doing that. I want to do it. Maybe I can hop on the trend and be ahead of everyone and then be accepted. It's just like companies don't allow that. Like if Mr. Beast were to speak out on this, YouTube would probably get on his ass and all of his sponsors would probably drop him because it's like they just kind of go for kids. It's just the easiest target. And if he's trying to like prepare the kids to not fall for the tricks, then the companies are going to see him as a threat and they're going to drop him. That's why you get people that are famous that just don't like, they don't mess with this idea because it is just like that's where a lot of their content is aimed towards, just because it's easy. But then it's also just that's how they get a lot of sponsors. That's how they get money. And it's like they're kind of stuck in this position to where do I do the right thing or or do I sit back and like support my own living needs essentially, you know?
Yeah.
Man, fucking
I mean, what do you think about that, Leo?
yeah. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm kind of thinking on crap. I was literally just holding in my mind for like a good 5 minutes.
Just like the whole idea about like people not being able to speak out because they can't do anything for themselves. Just like,
Oh,
I
okay. I,
mean,
I remember what I was holding on my mind. You were saying how like man, frick. I actually get hurt myself, bro. What the hell? Oh, how we like it took us like 17 years to like realize this stuff.
yeah,
I think we realize this stuff is just we don't take a step back and look at the picture. Like we like everybody lives in the moment and like like business and stuff like don't want you to they want you to live in the moment. They don't want you to take a step back and like look at everything that is happening. Like it's good to live in the moment, but sometimes you just need to like widen your perspective to see like all this stuff because like we've known this stuff. It's just like in this period of time when we come on the video and talk about it that we think we're like now that we're thinking about it, this we are seeing this stuff and this is happening. But like at the time like we experience it, we ourselves might not even be like, hold on a second, like this is happening to me too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
It really does take that kind of third party to then point it out or like just even nudge at it for other people to really go, huh, that's interesting. Why did they say that? Maybe it's because of this, and then it really leads them down the trail of, oh, maybe this is the issue why, and then it makes people think. That's the thing. Society, people don't really think anymore in the sense of like they don't think to what's the word? Where shit, like cognitive? Is it cognitive or like they just don't really they don't get too detailed. They don't understand. They don't try to think methodically about it. They just kind of go with whatever. They go with the flow and like Liam said, live in the moment. But sometimes you need to step back. You need to do that kind of like self check and realization or like actual like analyze the situation of what's happening and what you're doing. It's I feel like people don't do that.
I forgot what the term was because Will, you and I like learned this in one of our classes. I forgot what it was, but it's the whole concept of realizing that there's been like that something's faulty or like there's a wrong choice, but you choose not to do anything about it just because like you're just so used to it that you're just like, I'm just not gonna do anything about it, even though you know it's wrong. You just choose to like try to ignore it
Yeah.
because you're like,
Yeah,
I
like
can't do anything
desensitized
about
to
it,
it.
or like it's either you tell yourself you can't do anything about it, or it's because you're just too comfortable in where you are and you're just like too scared to move out of it. So you're like, what
Yeah.
am I gonna do?
Yeah. I guess this could be a short segment. What do you think are ways that we could solve, or like kind of take a step in the best because you can never solve it, but like steps that you can take to go into the right direction in a way that could lead to just a better future while we still have these in our presence.
I don't know because okay, this is something that we need to make sure that we're spreading because at one point, like in the very near future, all of us are going to be the world leaders.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're able to get this in there now, then we're going to be able to like actually like cause the change. So like I can't really do anything right now. Like that's why a lot of people like speaking on social media because even though it puts out a lot of like bad themes um to different people, it also allows people to be able to spread their opinions and like ideas on how to change things to make them better to the public as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, I guess this is a way for us to do it is like putting it out here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like a lot of damage has already been done that you can't undo, which is like drug use is at all time high. Like uh, homelessness is at an all-time high, like depression rates, teen pregnancy, uh, like just so much stuff that's already been done that we can't do anything about. Because like you can never change the past, but the only thing that we can do is worry about the future. Like the only thing is, again, people are either too afraid or don't have the resources to like take the steps forward. Like as a whole, we have to be able to move as society, but we're just so conformed to this just like idea of just being like cookie cutters, of just like the same exact person, just like a shell, basically, just being molded into whatever like the media wants. That like we don't know how to move out of it, and so like I guess it's our job, since we've kind of been able to step back a little bit to like help other people. Even though like I mean like none of us have kids or anything, but like if you have kids and you're watching this, like it's your job to like educate them. Um, like if you're also, I think something that you could do is like talk about this in schools, because I know schools are like a governmentally run.
It
Well, our
depends on where you
school-
go. It depends
Well-
on where you go.
well, schools. Well, what I'm trying to get at is that like they're not like small families. It's not like a parent teaching a child. It's like a bigger picture teaching like masses is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
So like it'd
Crafting
probably be
the
a lot
future.
harder to implement.
It's like you're being
certain-
put in a factory to be like made like everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we've used this old system for so long. I guess it's just like America, like American system.
Yeah.
But on like a world scale, like it'd be so hard to put like ideas on like how to actually improve like life for our generations and younger generations, like at that scale, because that's like a world scale at that point. Like it'd be so hard to get to there. I mean, like what? Like again, kind of back to what I was talking about with like our generation being the next leaders. It's kind of like how we're gonna have to be the ones to implement certain like new systems, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like you can already kind of see stuff changing. Like people who are like in our generation and like in their 20s and like early 30s have been like doing a lot of life changing stuff. And like there's a lot of old things that are like we're like, okay, why are we doing that? We need to really move away. But at the same time, there's also like people who are like, I'm scared for society to change because like what's gonna happen? It's always the what ifs. Like they really hold people back because what if? Like what if society collapses on itself because we change everything that we've built upon? We change all of our values. Like it's gonna be like a really long process, but I think it's something that we really need to do. And it's just like I don't know how we're gonna get there, but I think we're the people who are gonna have to change it though.
I got. Yeah, Liam, you go ahead. Cause
I was gonna say like the change, like since there really is so much like damage, like at this point, like you can only do like so much damage control. But I think like the only way to like change something like in our lives, like if we wanted to change something, we wouldn't be able to see that. We wouldn't be able to see a big change until after our death. Like we would only like think of like small groups that like have a really big voice. Like the LGBTQ have a really big voice, but like you think about it, they're not that big of a group. Like it's like a like extremely small group. So like you would need to like you would have to have a big voice essentially, so multiple people can hear you, and then like sure, not a lot of people are gonna like agree with you, but having a big voice will help get more people, even if more people is just like 10 or 20 or so. You just need to like work like you just have to like start small now, because like you're not gonna be able to make a big change as is like stuff is right now.
That's true. About like smaller groups having like trying to have larger voices, but there's also like really large groups who just have a really small voice, and so trying to find a way for like both of them to work is like really hard. I guess a good example is like the women's rights movement. Like half the population is women, but just like 100 years
yeah.
ago,
It's
like they
also
were allowed
really
to
not like
vote.
represented that good because most of the
Like
women you see that are feminists like really drag it down, and
You gotta
like
be
actual
like kind of
yeah.
specific on the term feminist too. Also, that's
Right,
also
yeah.
like, which this is our
that's,
23rd
I mean, like
episode.
it
I
might be a
wouldn't want to
different
get
topic.
canceled from that too. That's a touchy subject. Which I mean,
I
like
mean, I would.
it's not like I'm saying this isn't a touchy subject. It's just when when you do cross that kind of territory into the politics, that's when you do become touchy. That's when it does
I
become
mean, like the point I was trying to get at was
mhm.
just on like a more general scale of like using like the women's rights movement as an example
Yeah.
because just like with the whole like abolishing slavery movement,
I was gonna say
like
it
a
could
whole
go for
bunch of
African
movements with like
Americans too. That
what?
whole no, I was about to say like your example could go for like MLK, like
Yeah,
that, like
just
that
like really
race, like the
anyone.
race
I just
too.
chose like
Like
women as an example because
yeah,
it's like really recent.
hmm
It's like um well, oh yeah, like half the population is women. They're like a huge group. Obviously, there's like billions of women, but like only like really modern because like even just like in the 1800s 1900s like a lot of stuff started to change for women like that's really recent
Yeah.
like if we think about it and it's like it's so hard for like larger groups to have more voices because like I don't know the reason exactly but I just know that like we need to help like larger audiences get like bigger voices too
so it
because like
was
it,
yeah. Sorry, I thought
I mean I
oh
was
there you
gonna
go.
say that like small groups like often have like really big voices. Like if you think about um like a lot of leaders will have more voice, like can be heard easier than like smaller people.
hmm
And so we kind of just gotta like still work on making it even.
Yeah.
And just like, but again, like social media helps like kind of even the odds. So
Yeah.
but yeah, you go ahead, Will.
Well, I was just gonna give some facts on the like women being able to vote, like all that movement, and it's like
All right.
it from what I got from Google, which I hate that I don't know this off the top of my head because it feels like I should. Passed by Congress June 4th, 1919, and ratified on August 18th, 1920, the 19th Amendment granted women the right to vote. So that was over 100 years ago that just
Yeah.
happened, and then it's like when you look at the LGBTQ like plus community, that like that kind of movement and that kind of society didn't, or I guess group of people, that didn't start until like well obviously that was back in like the 60s and 50s, or that could be back as far like as far as back as you want, but it didn't
Just
really
saying
become
like
prominent or like it didn't really become a big kind of topic until like the 70s. It wasn't until then, and then you see
yeah.
it's been 50 years and so much has changed just from that small group alone. So yeah, you do look at the idea of big group small voice, small group big voice, and it's just kind of like the society that we kind of change and revolve around does kind of like to pick and choose who gets the bigger voice. It really does
That's
depend on what it is. And so like
yeah.
obviously in the 70s that was the whole hippie era, so people wanted to completely change the norms. They wanted to completely change it entirely, and then LGBTQ, that was such a big kind of like I guess at that time it was so ratifying. It was so different that obviously they're going to want to be like yes. You know, like it fits the time perfectly to make this come to fruition. And again, I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying it fits. It fits with what was going on at the time. So you
Yeah.
really got to do it. Really like society really does like to pick and choose what they like, what it fights for in a way.
Yeah. I agree with that. And also just like kind of a side thing is that like pretty much everything that we talk about here, like we're not biased. We just kind of talk about a lot of the facts and then
Mm-hmm.
from the perspective of like the youth. It's
Yeah.
like we're in the youth, we're considered the youth.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think we really need to like learn how to I mean how do I word this? I guess just like help. Like help ourselves like not in a selfish way, just like we can learn how to help like ourselves as like a society.
No, I
Yeah.
You
do.
know, like there's a lot of change that gotta go on.
Yeah,
But
like I do think that we represent a good idea of well, like you said, like unbiased kind of like opinion, because it's like, I'll be honest, we go to Catholic school. That's because our parents put us there. I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong, I like it. I consider myself a Christian, but I don't follow. It's weird, but like when you say that you put yourself in a certain religion and then you say that you don't really kind of like follow some of the guidelines some of the beliefs, then you're just kind of making your own separate thing or whatever. I guess you can call me not a Christian, but it's just we like to question. We like to think above that. Reason I've had hours long discussions questioning religion and our own religion and like all this other
yeah,
stuff. And it's like we just like to question and we like to ponder and we like to think and we like to explore. And I feel like
yeah,
that's what the human race should be doing. And so when we talk about this stuff, I guess the main thing that we do kind of align with when it does come to like the Catholic faith is the whole treat others how you want to be treated, and we want to help others kind of get to this kind of idea. And sure, we'll have like nice shits and giggles, laugh, stupid, haha, funny time jokes, but every now and then we can get deep like this, and we'll just kind of do whatever, like we say what's on our mind, and in the only hope of making an impact in the right direction, and we call things out for how they are. Sometimes we can't do that all the time just because of how like touchy society can be now, but it's like
yeah,
obviously we're the ones taking the shots at this point. You don't hear Logan Paul talking about this. You don't hear him talking about it at all. What I'm saying,
yeah.
it's
It's like
like
the youth that has to be. They have to be the vanguard in a movement
mm-hmm.
that has yet to become a movement.
Yeah, it's like we're gonna recreate our own form of the '70s in a sense, where
Yeah,
we're gonna get
but
to a
also,
point where
yeah,
I'm just gonna say like, what if this video blows up? You know, oh wow, we got some 17-year-olds that are giving their opinions on actual serious topics. God forbid this video blows up. All of a sudden, we're known as these ratifying kids. We can recreate our own 70s movement and just completely abolish social norms of the time, but then that can fall into a pattern, and then you just kind of it just kind of falls where it falls. Society picks their battles. It picks what they want,
yeah,
really. And so I mean, I hope us alone we do have enough of a viewpoint because we are this young talking about this, and it'll be interesting to some people. So I'm obviously going to be sharing this
yeah.
video a lot.
I mean, I guess also for me, kind of like back to what you're talking about with like us always questioning stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's not um like we want to drop a lot of old ideals, but at the same time, this is also kind of like a call to arms to like other people who are in similar situations of like I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Like I
Yeah.
don't know where I am, like as a person or like. But you need to always like question everything
Yeah.
because like even scientists are always disproving each other. Like nothing we like we're learning stuff every single day. Like not even just like personally, but like as an entire like as human beings, we're learning stuff like new technology, like everything. And really, you have to question everything that you know and like do your own research. Like you need to like become the spearhead because like the only person who's really going to be able to change your life is you, and like you got to educate yourself. Like I'm not even saying that I know everything, but I'm just saying that like my main goal is to like I mean not even to like a world changing viewpoint. This is like a personal thing. I just really love like learning stuff and finding out like new things. So when I can learn, like I try to learn everything I can about a situation. Like it's so much better if you just question everything because then you can really discover what the truth is. Or like you're gonna like find out how to make a real truth. Like find out what the actual truth should be. because a lot of times like what we believe to be true isn't actually the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So like you gotta like as the generation of youngins, we got to make our own paths. Like we can't just keep following like society. I'm not just saying like go rebel and stuff because a lot of times when we try to change things, we do it the completely wrong way.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that we need to like make our own paths of learning. Like like we need to educate ourselves more. Like so much other stuff like social media. Like there's so much like just start taking more initiative to your own life. Like learn yourself. Like not even in like a rude way, just learn yourself. That's like the best we can do, and then pass it on to the younger generation as well, because we
Yeah.
want to. I mean, that's like really all we can do right now. Is like I don't know.
I want to say something on like the questioning on like everything. Like I think most people like don't question a lot anymore because I think we're put in just like in society like kind of puts us in a point where just not to question anything. Like really just like told to do
Yeah,
stuff and like if you do question it, you're kind of in the wrong for like questioning it. Like
yeah,
you can even see in like church like early childhood, like it's kind of normal, but like if you question your parents for like telling you to do something, like you ask them like a question and they'll be like, "Oh, it's because I told you to do it." Like, it's not really a good answer to the question because it's not really an answer. It's just like, "Oh, because I said so." And then like
yeah,
in school, they give you like questions, but they don't let you question anything. Like, there's no like innovation. There's no like individuality. You're just like
Creativity.
given questions to solve. You're not giving yourself questions for yourself to solve.
yeah. That's like if you ever feel like stuck in life, or if you ever feel like gray, is the best word I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
Just always ask like, why am I doing this? Like, what is the like? What's our purpose for this? For what I'm going through right now? Like, what's the
Yeah.
purpose of this? Like, it's not even disrespectful because if you're the person, if you're the only person who's gonna live your life, then you need to know everything that is going to affect it. And like, we're gonna do like a lot more videos like this. Like, we need to like really make a call to arms, but not like with weapons, but like
It's time to wake
with
up.
thought.
It's time to wake up.
Like, because this is what like philosophers do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not saying we're philosophers, but kind of similar to like
Yeah,
what
we're
we're
fucking
explaining.
teenagers.
Yeah, I'm not a philosopher, but I'm saying as a good example for like society, like kind of, I'm going off what Liam said with like society. What you said something about
Like how
like
like we like aren't able to like give our like have our own questions. Like we're just given
yeah,
questions to, like
like
solve
questioning
like
stuff
other people's
is viewed
questions.
as wrong. Like when
And
you're
most
older,
questions
like when
we're
your
given
kids
are
are like
already
yeah,
solved for us. We just need to get our way like our like make a designed path to get to that answer of that question.
yeah. So like I'm not saying we're philosophers, but I am saying like they kind of made me think of a lot of philosophers because society viewed them as wrong just for questioning things, and then look at how much we learned just from asking questions. That's how we've always learned is like asking questions.
Man.
So like we got to get out there. Like we need to really change. It's gonna take a while, and like Liam said, we're probably gonna be dead by the time any real change happens. But we got to be the farmers who plant the seeds. Like we might not be able to see the plant grow, but like you got to at least start it. So like your kids and
We'll lay the
grandkids
groundwork.
are able to live in a society where they can be like truly happy.
Yeah.
Like
See, with the
we got to start it.
I really do feel like this is just for me being the content creator, but I really do feel that this video does have potential, just because we like a lot of people love seeing people watch videos where the people that are talking are passionate about what they're talking about, and it's like if this does have any, I guess, chance of like doing good in a way, it's like I want to make it clear that yes, we want the better for the future. And that's, I guess I could try to circle that back to the whole like purest form of love, where it's like we want what's good for the future. This is what we want. We want, like, as individuals or like as a group together for wherever Through the Barrel takes us, we want to do like a shit ton of charity work. We want to make a whole bunch of charities. We want to do a whole bunch of stuff for the community, do like good stuff in general. And it's like I've seen, like, I would love to have a stance so big that we join Thankamus, like with Jacksepticeye and all that, because they've raised like
Yeah.
$17 million for charity. This is what I'm saying, and that's off of YouTube live streams in the past. Like, I want to say 4 years, maybe five. What I'm saying, like, this, like, we want to be that person, not because we want attention, because we genuinely love helping. And it's just kind of, it's one of those things where society again picks and chooses, and society does what it wants. And so I don't know. I'm very happy that this episode went the direction it went. I need to make I need to have more thought provocative topics. I need to do more of that because, dude, this I honestly I thought this was gonna go to like 40-50 minutes. We're at an hour 20. Like, that is double the time that I thought it'd be, and like all I got was what I'm saying. I love this. But yeah, I do feel that we're running a little over time. But yeah, do y'all have any last thoughts? Any last like words before we end this video?
You control your own future. It's time to wake up. You need to step
Wake
outside the
up.
box. It's time to step
Wake
outside
up.
the box. It's
Wake
time
up.
to look at the box. Look at the box that you just stepped out of too.
Reese, you got anything?
Just take care of each other. Because at the end of the day, the only people we're gonna have are each other. So
Yeah.
we're on the
Happy
same
birthday,
boat.
Jamal.
I think what I would say would be like, think more. Like, think cognitively. I don't know what the fucking word is, man. I'm trying to, like, comprehensively. Holy shit, that's what it was. Be a comprehensive thinker. Be creative. Just kind of, I don't know, look at things from a wider perspective or perspective. Just live like how you're supposed to. So, all right.
Yeah.
Liam, whose birthday is it today?
It's Jamal's birthday. Oh, and Chris. Happy
Hey,
birthday,
Chris. Yeah, happy birthday, Chris.
Oh yeah.
This is going to be coming out like a week after his birthday, but so.
This video is for you.
All right.
Well, yeah.
Reese? What is he? Oh, okay.
Bye.